find repulsive, therefore assuring you that any itching you might experience during the course of this performance is psychosomatic. I have never lost a flea, with the exception of the dog show incident of '87. Small Pekingese came along and stole the show.
Oh dear.
Literally, but enough of such unhappiness. I like to begin my presentation by dispelling the rumor, the myth, the common misconception that the Flea Circus is some way. I wanted you to see the Flea Circus. Tell him, say, Daddy, you made us miss the best thing in the whole thing here. A little guilt goes a long way. Yeah, it's just down to us then. All right, I think I'll commence. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Dickens on the Strand, I should like to invite you to see the most remarkable scientific exhibition, the likes of which is rarely seen in this modern day and age. I refer, of course, to that flamboyant relic of a bygone era, the singularly sensational Flea Circus. I am Professor Humbug, the owner and manager of this diminutive delight, responsible for the care and feeding of my parasitic performers par excellence. When you leave here today, you will tell your unbelieving friends and neighbors of the amazing antics of which these industrious insects are capable, and yet it will scarcely take a few moments of your valuable time. Folks, I am a third-generation flea trainer. My father was in fleas. His father was in fleas. His father infested with fleas, and so it comes to me. Now, before we begin, I should like to draw your attention. It is very hard to see white cord on a white stage. This cord has been stretched around the front of the stage for your protection and is treated with oil of citronella, cloves, and other odoriferous ingredients the fleas find repulsive, therefore assuring you that any itching you might experience during the course of this performance is psychosomatic. I have never lost a flea, with the exception of the dog show incident of '87. Small Pekingese came along and stole the show.
Oh dear.
Literally, but enough of such unhappiness. I like to begin my presentation by dispelling the rumor, the myth, the common misconception that the Flea Circus is some sort of chicanery, legerdemain, magic trick. Nothing so base as that. Now, in order to do so, I would like to bring up upon the stage one of the smallest and most honest of all God's creatures, a small but honest-looking child. However, you'll have to do. Why don't you step right over here? You can put that down. Come on over here and watch out for these steps, young man. You can give him a round of applause as this brave young individual comes up there. Come around here to the other side there, young man. Watch out for the cord. Watch out for the cord. Step around the other side of the cord. What's your name, please? Travis. Very nice to meet you. Stay on the other side of the cord, Travis. There you are. Just for your safety, you understand. Now, Travis, I'm going to have you be the eyes of the audience. Inside of this box, Travis, are 25 educated fleas of the order Pulex irritans, otherwise known as the common household flea, known everywhere except in Europe as the European household flea. Only a few of these are our principal performers. The rest are merely understudies, lest one should break a leg or be otherwise incapacitated, assuring you of a complete performance at all times. Now, what I need for you to do is to take this very expensive scientific instrument. Hold it with both hands, please. When I open up the box, I want you to look through the magnifying glass therein, and when you see the fleas moving about as they are wont to do, I would like you to say in the loudest voice you possess, all the way up from your toes, I'd like you to say, I see them, so the doubting Thomases out there who do not believe we're using genuine trained fleas today will be shocked and amazed. Are you ready? All right, look through the magnifying glass as I open the box, and let us know when you see the fleas moving about. He sees them, ladies and gentlemen, and who can impugn the honesty of this small but honest-looking child? Give me that. Now, at this time, since you have learned a little bit about fleas, I'm going to make you my assistant. Would that be all right with you? All right. What I'd like you to do is hold on to this for me. I like to begin my show in a patriotic fashion with the raising of the American flag. Therefore, if you would be so kind as to hold our national symbol between your thumb and forefinger, just like so. Just hold on to it. There you are. And I am going to bring out our just one hand is fine. I'm going to bring out our largest and strongest flea, Bruno, who will attempt today. That's Phineas. Would you believe I used to have perfect eyesight before I began this act? A warning to all you children, watch out what you profess to do in life. There you are. Bruno. Now, what I'm going to do is put Bruno on the platform. This is very important that you listen to this instruction very carefully. Whatever you do not take that flag platform and go put it down suddenly and violently like that. Because I'll have to train another Bruno, you understand? Right? Just very gently, you're going to bring it over to him. He will jump on the platform and raise the flag. So bring it right over to him very slowly, so as not to startle him. Bring it over to him. He's on the platform. Hang on, hang on. He's on it. Hold on to it. He's on it, but he's not quite sure what to do with it. I think he's a little bit snow-blinded. Come on, Bruno. Ah, he's got it. He's got it. He's pretending it's a machine on. Ladies and gentlemen, the flea is sensitive to vibration and would have enjoyed some applause had you given him any. There you are. You see? Yes. Now here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a little more complicated because he is now warmed up. So we need to do something that will test his mettle a bit. We're going to do something very difficult. Hold on to that for me. That is an American $50. How much would you say that weighs? Is it heavy or is it light? It's not light. It's light to you. It weighs in at a scant 10 grams. It's not much for you or I. But for little Bruno here, it is the equivalent of a grown man lifting over 6,000 pounds. A fact that sometimes causes audiences to say, ooh. Not this audience, but some audiences. All right, now what he's going to do, this is very, very amazing. He's going to flip this over. Let me get him in there.
Wow.
He's not only going to lift it, but he's going to flip it over. See if we can get him to do it. He's very small. Let's do it one more time for these folks over here who didn't see it. Bruno, that was a little quick. Now he's having trouble. Oh, there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Bruno and his assistant. Take it out, everyone. By way of reward for being so brave to come up here today, I would like to give you a complimentary copy of Dr. Farquhar's treatise on the domestication of the common household flea for the purposes of entertainment and profit. All of the secrets of flea training are contained therein. Don't become a competitor. Go on back to your seat. Give a nice round of applause. There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for you to understand the brute strength required in the execution of that last stunt, I draw your attention to this chart of the greatly amplified anatomical attributes of my small charges. In size, a flea is only 1/8 of 1 inch in diameter, usually much smaller, but of so light a weight, it takes over 5,000 fleas to tip the scale to merely 1 ounce. Another fact that sometimes causes audiences to say, ooh. We'll get them yet, don't worry about it. You'll notice the jumping legs of the flea, prodigious though they may be. Wow. So would you be so kind as to stand for a bit of a demonstration? If the flea were the size of this gentleman here, as disturbing a thought as that might be, he would be able to jump over the 257-foot Capitol Dome of Washington, D.C., or make an Olympic broad jump of nearly 450 feet. Wow. We got them to very good. However, scientific exhibition though this might be, you come from entertainment, you've come for entertainment, and you will get some. Therefore, we commence with the circus proper with Tobias. Tobias is the only flea in all of captivity able to play the calliope at will. Whether he will or whether he won't is the question. Come back here. Hey there. Stay. We have Tobias at the calliope, and now little Phineas. Phineas, his talent is kicking the ball with his feet. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. And finally, Madame Fifi. Madame Fifi, our aerialist, who will promenade for you today in a dress made of Paris silk, topped with marabou feathers, encrusted in rhinestones, which buttons at the back. Ladies and gentlemen, as the fleas are sensitive to vibration, only a smattering of applause is required to kick them into action, if you would be so kind. A nice round of applause for Mr. Lee. There we go. Here he goes, he's playing. Very good. Oh, they're all doing it ball with his feet, a task that takes a man 2 or 3 years to learn. Phineas does this in a much shorter time, having the distinct advantage of 6 legs to our 2. A nice round of applause for Phineas. Madam Fifi, what is the matter? Keep going, please. That way. That way, dear. Children and animals. You're in the front now. Go on. Madam Fifi.
Take applause.
Run away, dear. There she goes. If you listen carefully, you can hear the sound of her tiny high heels clicking upon the stage. An affectation, certainly. Vanity, to be sure. However, we allow her this small conceit as it helps her to keep her balance upon the high wire. A nice round of applause for Madame Fifi. Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, people often ask me in all the places that I travel, Professor, is there some special diet that keeps the fleas at their fighting weight? Yes, I could almost hear them asking me that now.
Is there a special diet?
This is why I don't train people just for I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, the flea's diet is unchanged in several millions of years. The flea eats what they have always eaten, that diet so rich in iron, that liquid diet supreme. I refer, of course, to blood. Dog blood, cat blood, people blood makes no more difference to a flea than vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry ice cream does to you on a hot summer's day. The flea feeds in a vampiric manner thus, piercing the skin with these sharp lancets and drawing the blood upward through tubes. Although Mother Nature has doomed the poor flea to spend its entire existence drinking through a straw, it has the good manners not to blow bubbles. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I should like to bring out again to the fore Madame Fifi. Madame Fifi, who fed only on the most pedigreed of poodles. All her life is our youngest flea, and therefore the most reckless. It is this reckless self-assurance that compels her to walk from this platform across this monofilamental strand to the other side at a dizzying height of over 7 inches without a net. We lost a net in the dog show back in '87. All right, if you would be so kind, dear, and hold on with all your feet, please. Behave yourself. I have an audience today. Can you see in the back row?
Yes.
Should have gotten closer seats. And she's changed her mind. Well, so much, that's the feminine prerogative for you. Nonetheless, let's give her a nice round of applause. Madame Fifi. Now she won't let it go. Let go. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Tobias. That'll be enough. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, people often ask me, Professor, how does one train a flea?
How does one train a flea?
See? People ask me this all the time. I will take you into my strictest confidence, friends. It is scientifically impossible to train a flea. They are wild animals and can never be completely trusted. Why, just last week, one of my small performers, and I'll spare her the embarrassment of telling you who, was so startled by a glint of sunlight off of a balding gentleman's head.
Oh, dear.
That she bit me savagely upon the finger, and I carry the scar to this day. However, such instances are rare. And as the fleas eat a liquid diet, they are therefore sensitive to vibration. The human heartbeat is to a flea merely the dinner bell. Therefore, since it is sound that compels them, it is sound that trains them. I draw attention to 2 tuning forks that I carry with me, the science of resonance. In this hand, the tuning fork in the key of C, which produces a high-pitched tickling sensation. However, on the occasions the fleas are naughty and bug me, the tuning fork in the key of A, a much lower sound, which produces in the flea a violent shaking sensation. Spare the tuning fork, spoil the fleas, says I. Ladies and gentlemen, a fine example of this sort of training can be found in my next performers, Victoria and Albert. Victoria and Albert are my oldest fleas. They are the senior aerialists, and these two, the winsome couple, in their off hours, have produced more than 9,000 offspring. Stop that. No end in sight, apparently. Behave yourselves, you're on stage. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Victoria and Albert will attempt the very difficult triple maneuver. Tobias, you may commence again. Here we are. Come on, dears. That was a practice. He's on the other platform. Very good. All right, Albert. Pay attention. No, not like that. There we are. Watch where you're steering. 1, 2, 3, and he's caught her! Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria and Albert. Thank you very much. And you know what? We're going to put Tobias back. Thank you, Tobias. Nice round of applause for Tobias. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I should like to present a trick that is so frightening and so dangerous that it's going to require audience participation. Perhaps it is because of that fact that it is so frightening and dangerous. At this time, I'm going to introduce a flea who will require, contractually I might add, a drum roll. Therefore, I will instruct you in the way to simulate a drum roll. Please put your hands out just like so. Put them above your knees. Now, rhythmically move from one hand to the other, slapping them on your knees. Stop. Thank you very much. That's the idea. That's exactly what you need to do when we bring out our next performer. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone knows that the thing that fleas are most afraid of is water. Even the mention of the word flea bath sends the tiny flea heart into palpitation. However, one of my performers has conquered his fear of the dreaded element, the great Wesley, who will step upon this platform and make one tremendous bounce and land into this small container of tepid water. Right. Are you ready for the drum roll? Wesley, are you ready? Not yet, not yet. Are you ready, Wesley? You should have thought of that before you went. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, drum roll, please. First drum, second drum, third drum, and he's on the platform. Hup! There he goes. He's all right, ladies and gentlemen, the great Wesley! Had me worried for a moment there. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I present the finale, or as it's sometimes pronounced in Europe, the final. For this, I will need the assistance of a young woman from the audience, between 5 and 6 feet in height, possessed of a certain fondness for animals and their trainers. Dear, if you would be so kind as to come to the fore, if you don't mind. Come on up to the stage, yes. Let's have a nice round of applause for this lovely... An utterly trusting young woman I see. Right this way. There you are. Mind the snow. It's slippery. There you are. The flea should have called ahead. If you'd be so kind as to stand right here next to me. What is your name, sir? It is Michelle? What a euphonious appellation. Michelle, have you ever played the American sport of baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a coincidence, isn't it? Rarely happens. Usually I pick someone who's never even seen a baseball glove. That's fine. All right, our next performer, Michelle, is going to be fired out of the muzzle of this high-velocity cannon over the audience's heads, like most of my show, Michelle, and into your waiting baseball glove. Now, in order for this to work, it is vital that you and our next performer bond. As you well know, there is some animosity between humans and fleas. And fleas can sense when a human being is feeling anxiety. Therefore, you must be as confident as humanly possible. If you would be so kind as to put out your hand, Michelle, just like so. Just put out a hand. There you are. Cup it ever so slightly in case of any stray zephyr that sometimes, surprisingly enough, issues from the audience itself. Michelle, this is Victor. Victor, Michelle. And he, oh, you're warm. He'll like that. And he... Sorry about that. He likes you already. Stay there. If you would look him in his well-scrubbed little face and say in a clear and confident voice, "Fear not, Victor, I will catch you."
Fear not, Victor, I will catch you.
Very good, very good. Also, if you tickle him under the chin, he's rather fond of that. Well, that wasn't his chin, Michelle, but he enjoyed it. We need a timeout. Right. You'd be so kind, dear. So take this glove and go stand just to the side of where that lovely woman in the mustard yellow jacket is standing. We're sitting. There you are. And as she makes her way, I will load little Victor in the cannon. And folks, you've got to be loaded to get in a cannon. Some people don't know this. It takes a certain caliber of flea to be fired through a cannon. There you are. Yes, just a bit to the side. And if you would be so kind as to hold the glove just like so, but not in front of your nose because of the impact. Right. As Michelle steadies herself, I should like to point out that my hat will sit right here at the front of the stage for any donations to the Flea Retirement Fund. I also have some booklets of Dr. Farquhar's treatise on the domestication of the common household flea. All of the knowledge of flea training can be had by you with a small donation. These donations, as you know, the fleas don't have a very long life. And so what we do is at the end of their days, we take all that money and we buy them a dog so that they can live out their lives in comfort and humility. At this time, I will need a countdown from the audience. Michelle, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Lady there in the front, you might want to duck just a little bit. You like your eyebrows. Right, here we are. All right, we will need a countdown. Countdown, folks. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it goes, and... Was it distance? Distance. Let's see. Oh. Singed but none the worse for the wear, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome and his lovely assistant, Michelle. I thank you so much. Michelle, let me give you a copy of the booklet just for your bravery. There you are. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I conclude my presentation with the reminder that there is no creature on God's earth so small we can't learn from it if we take the time to listen. I thank you. Feel free to peruse Dr. Farquhar's treatise. Copies there are they're reproductions of the original 1889 work. And for those of you who didn't see the fleas up close, I'll cue you up over here and I'll give you a chance to see the fleas up close. But I sense some doubting Thomases still amongst us.